I'm Chris Waters, and we're back on the live stage. Day 3 of GameSpot's live coverage of E3 continues. Now, we're getting into some Dying Light. Joining me is Matic, the lead game designer from Techland. We're going to be playing some Dying Light, talking about it, and you guys have been showing this off to a lot of folks here at E3, and people actually been getting to play it.
Oh, yeah. So we have a press demo, which focuses, on the previous demos, we would focus on, showing what the game is all about, the day and night cycle. This time around, we're focusing on the player progression. How can you develop your character, and how does that actually influence the choices that you make in the game? Because depending on which abilities you decide to unlock, you will have to tackle the game differently. Yeah, and let me just say, I'm so super excited to be here. It's absolutely awesome.
We're really glad to have you on stage here.
Oh,
I mean,
thank you for
it's
having
so fun
me.
to like just sort of like bask in the energy of E3, and especially when you have a game that people are getting excited about to show off. That must be excellent.
Yeah.
Now, Dying Light, you talk about player progression and the choices players will make in terms of customizing their character. Give us an idea of the range of sort of gameplay that you can cover in terms of the customization, because you have the parkour, you have the zombie killing, you have the environmental manipulation.
And
there's
crafting.
so much in play here.
Yeah, yeah. So just considering the character, we have 2 basic proficiencies, so agility and strength. And the way you develop your character is by doing. So you want to get better at agility, that means you have to run, you have to jump, you have to slide, and whatnot. You want to get better at strength, that means combat. That means a lot of broken bones and smashed skulls and cut off limbs, and a lot of blood gushing. And so if you accumulate enough of experience in each proficiency, you level up. And of course, you get to be stronger, faster. But the most important part is you get to unlock these really cool abilities. And we really think about them as game changers. We have about 50 of them. And
that's a lot of game changing.
Well, oh yeah. Well, depending on which type of that depends how you want to play the game. We really want to be the players to be able to say, okay, this is how I want to play the game, and we give you all the toys so you can do it the way you want to do it. So, for example, you might be the person who doesn't really feel like fighting. So, yeah, if in real life when zombies show up, I wouldn't grab a thing and smash them. No, I would be running away really fast.
Yeah, see you later.
Yeah, so for example, you can unlock number of abilities that if you get in trouble, you can, slide full speed under stuff. You can jump off them, be able to dodge them, throw them away. On the other hand, you might just feel like, no, I'm feeling confident about just killing stuff.
Yep.
So there you go. You go special kind of attacks, stabs, 360s, and, there's so much stuff. And we'll be able to see some of that in that demo.
All right, well, let's get right into it. We got a chunk of gameplay demo that someone's going to be playing in the back. And it says Old Town here on the screen. Set the stage for us. Where is this located? And actually, we had a question come in over Twitter earlier about that. I'm going to look it up. You set the stage for us.
All right. So this is actually a part of the game that we've never shown before. This E3, this is the first time we're showing it. It has a completely different vibe to it. It's much more vertical. It's an old town, so you can expect beauty. Kind of decayed because it's still quarantined, but little cafes, shop, tall buildings. All right, let's just jump right into the action.
You missed a chance to say dive right into the action, man, and totally pawn it up.
Totally. Sorry, my English is not that good just yet.
Quick question from Ali about the setting. It's Haran is the name of the place?
Yes.
And is this based off of real Istanbul?
Yeah, Istanbul was one of our references.
Yeah.
We really think that, a city at the brink of West and East has a true unique flavor. It feels really fresh for the video game. So, yeah, that was one of the biggest references that we had.
Influences?
So yeah, here again, I don't know if you noticed, we brought our crafted weapons with us. This is something very...
That's not a straight off the shelf spike bat murder weapon?
Yeah, I would call it a classic. It's very simple, but effective. So yeah, let's try. Perhaps we could see, like, ripping. You can actually rip pieces of meat right of them. Oh, and if you aim it just right, yeah, that was bones.
just broke the bone?
Yes, yes.
It's a little like echoes of Mortal Kombat. Oh,
Yeah, so that was actually a combo.
Yeah.
So that was 2 abilities. First one was jumping right off them.
Running on their heads and
yes,
shoulders.
and while you launch yourself, you can combo it with an aerial attack when you smash them right through. That's another thing. We call it we call it a Zapper X, and you can actually split a guy in half of that. Now, we gotta make sure that they don't come too close. We call them biters for a reason.
Yep.
That's another special ability. We call it.
That was like was that swinging it all the way around?
Yeah, 360.
Yep.
So we can take the whole group with them. Okay.
So
maybe.
now that
go ahead.
Now this one looks like it's got a little flame damage attached.
Yeah, you can actually grab a little pieces, of metal, and a little gas tank here, piece of metal, duct tape, and you can create something like that. We call it flame slasher. So with this thing, you can actually cut them to pieces and burn them at the same time, like zombie grill.
Now, of course, the brutalization of zombies is something Techland is very familiar with, having developed the Dead Island series. What in terms of what you guys, obviously there's just the visceral satisfaction of vanquishing your enemies in these sort of gory ways. Was that sort of the driving factor there for letting you sever limbs and chop them in half, or do you sort of is there a strategic element too to taking down the zombie would take a little bit of effort, but if I chop its leg off with the knee, it's not going to be able to pursue.
Oh yeah, well, kinda.
Okay. So
always,
where are you guys at
it's
on
always
that spectrum?
best to go for the head.
Yeah.
Because you can cut their limbs off. You can cut a leg off. It's still gonna crawl for you.
It's still gonna crawl, yeah.
So, but for example, you can choose a special ability. Oh, and here, actually, just pointing that out, we can actually bring the infected to help us. We just made a lot of noise, bring them infected to kill other humans. But coming back to your question, you could try an ability where you knock them down and just stomp them on their heads. That's an easy kill. Again, but that's your choice. You can concentrate on breaking them, just try to avoid it, you don't have to kill them. And yeah, making the game as visceral as possible. Yeah, that was the idea right from the start. We really tried to make combat as meaty as possible. All these splats and breaks. That's a drop kick.
That was really good.
Drop
kick of the zombie off the roof. I like that a lot.
One of our reference was, do you remember the movie Ninja Assassin?
Yes.
Yeah, the way the weapons sound, all the blood splats, it was so awesome. So yeah, we definitely want to bring that kind of experience, really touching it. You can feel it, and the weight of weapons. We really try to make it make you feel the difference. It's different if you use the baseball bat. It's different if you're swinging a pot. It's different if it's two-handed hammer. Oh, beautiful headshot.
It's just really just fun to watch these jump kicks and baseball bat swings.
Oh, you saw that meat going
that
off?
was gross, man. I want to see some zombie guts. I like that they aren't just limited to being on the ground. So it's not just I'm on the roof, I'm totally safe.
No,
because that gives you the chance to kick zombies off roofs, which is awesome. But we did see something earlier that I would like to ask you about. Yeah. Mobility is such a huge part of this game. We saw, walking on zombies, sort of parkour stuff, mantling on surfaces, climbing up walls. There was a little grappling hook type thing, right? So talk about that a little bit and how that sort of opens things up for players.
Right, well, grappling hook brings yet another level of how you can traverse through the wall. And you don't get it from the start. But as you progress, as you get better, you start to be really smooth at traversing. But still, you will find yourself in situations that, you can find run into a dead end. And having that thing, it's a lifesaver. And there you go. Of course, you can also use it offensively. You can, grab somebody's leg and just pull it off the roof.
It seems like so much of this is just you guys thinking of what would be really funny, goofy, nasty ways to just
you have no idea. We have people showing up at the office and they're like, you know what? I was taking a shower and I have this really awesome idea that it would be so cool to do this, and we're like, yeah,
all right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, Maciek, I have a bunch of questions coming in on Twitter, so I want to fire them at you real quick. One of them sort of ties into that that mobility we were talking about. Stephanie Harden wants to know about fall damage being an issue. Like, how, if you're falling off a roof, how do you guys, do you take damage from that, or can you drop a significant distance, or can you land on safe spots? How does that work?
All right, so, well, if you fall from too big high, you're going to die.
Okay.
But
such is life.
But there are a number of objects that you can use to break your fall. A number of them were visible in the demo.
I think I saw an awning over
like
a fruit
little
stand or something.
like a tent, or bags of trash, or a car roof. There's a bunch of stuff that you can use to break your fall.
All right.
On top of them, there's a number of abilities, like free running abilities, that you can use to be able to not die while falling. So, for example, a roll. A lot of people was asking, can I perform a roll? And a lot of people do that. Yes, you can.
All right, got a few more. How can you upgrade your weapons? Stuart wants to know. We sort of touched on that a little bit with, slapping the battery to the axe, the lighter to the machete thing, whatever it was. Is that stuff that you're finding in the environment and crafting similar to Dead Island?
Yes. So while you're exploring the game, you find loot, a little piece of metal here, a little duct tape, some wire, a gas tank, and then you can combine it all together. And you can create weapons that feel, that suit your playstyle. Like, so you kind of feel like the guy that likes heavy weapons, so you can upgrade your axes to make as much damage as you can with those. You can use knives. We have like 100 of base weapons. So and then pretty much you can modify them all. So
lots of options there. Final
Absolutely.
question from Dejan wants to know off Twitter. How does the game change when you play co-op?
Well, first of all, it just gets more awesome. Like, it's everything you do with friends.
Makes it that much more awesome.
It just gets better.
I mean, that's one of the maxims of game design, I think. Yeah.
So, that depends how you want to play it.
Okay.
So you feel like cooperating. That's good. You can, try completing missions together. You're going to actually help each other. For like in night situations, the infected are attracted to noise. So you could, let's say we play together. You can grab a machete, start banging it at the door, lure the infected from one place to another, and then we can sneak together around it. Or maybe we feel more like, let's bring them here. I'm going to be the bait, and you drop the bomb or something. Then we might say, you know what, we're going to take these two side quests. I'm going to finish this one. You're going to finish this one, and then we'll meet somewhere else.
Very cool.
And on top of that, we have our pre-order incentive. This is the mode that we call Beat a Zombie. And that's pretty much what it says. You get to play as this super infected. And what's cool about it is you get to join other people's games. Like, when they're playing, they're just regular game as humans. And then you show up.
And you come after them.
Yes.
As your nasty zombie self.
Absolutely.
All right, so that's a pre-order bonus?
Yes.
And so pre-orders are open now, but when is the game coming out?
Dying Light is coming out in February 2015.
And it's going to be on next-gen consoles? Or
pretty much everything.
Consoles?
So 360, PS3, Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
Excellent. Maciek, thank you so much for coming on stage.
Thank you very much for having me.
That's a lot of fun, man. Looking forward to it.